The first time I met your dad, this was for a film festival that we're doing, and we wanted to give him the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I called him up, and he was gracious enough to come and accept it. And he said, "Beta,
when was this?
This is about 5 or 6 years ago,
okay.
Or maybe 4 or 5 years ago." And then he calls me up and he says, "Beta, मैं आपको अपना CV भेज दूँ?" I'm like, "This is Pankaj Kapoor. I don't need your CV for God's sake." You know what I mean? Is he really like that? Is he someone who's not aware of his greatness because he probably doesn't fraternize in the same way that everyone else does, and is not told by everyone that you're the greatest ever?
But he's told by enough people he's the greatest. He is.
But he's not out there. He's from the sense I guess.
I think he comes from a place of humility, and he comes from a place of, not taking anything for granted. And I think he's tried to pass that on to all of us. Dude, he knows how good he is.
Okay.
He's also highly selective.
Is he faking it?
No, he's not faking. He's not a fake person at all. But maybe that's just he doesn't want to take anything for granted, and he wants to reach out and say, "Listen, if you need anything, I'll share it
send
with
you my CV."
But even I didn't know that, so it's.
But you work with him,
interesting
right?
to hear that.
You work with him. You did that film, which was a huge budget film for its time, 2011. He directed it. There was a directorial debut, Mausam. Yes. What happened there? I mean, it was not the way you'd imagined in terms of how it will get received, right? What happened
there
there?
was too much that happened on that film. Behind the scenes and all, there's a lot that happened. I don't really want to get into the details of it. We unfortunately couldn't make it exactly the way that I think he had envisioned it. We met with a lot of challenges, but having said that, a failure is a failure, and we probably fell short. That's okay.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, you gave yourself like 2 years on that film, right?
Yeah, he gave his 2 years, I gave a year and a half.
Which for its time is a very big deal because you're at the peak of your career in many ways.
Yes.
So did you feel like right after what was perhaps a commercial debacle of Mausam that, I need to catch up?
But I didn't feel that the film came together also.
Okay.
Like I was not feeling good about the final cut of the film. I was also uncomfortable, and so I kind of wasn't sure if it's going to land. But sometimes something's already done, and there are too many things that play a role in it having landed like that and things like that, right? So we did the best that we could.
Which is very different from how you worked earlier, where you were walking in because these are the options available to you. By then you were a star.
I stopped working like that. Like I think Mausam was the beginning of me changing that thing of just getting a film and getting on set and probably sometimes getting dialogue on set and all. I was like, I don't want to work like that anymore. So Mausam was a step in that direction, even though it might have failed. But I was clear that I want to work in a certain way, and I think that's the dream that me and Dad set out with. That listen, let's make movies the way that. With a sense of commitment, but very. So it was supposed to happen over 6 months, but the film got delayed over a year and a half because there were many things that were out of our control, because of which it didn't happen. And then everybody else started going and doing other things. And me and Dad would look at each other and say, "अब हम दूसरे लोगों के dates के पीछे भाग रहे हैं," because we decided that we'll do one film at a time and we'll commit ourselves to it, and we'll give all of ourselves to it, and that's how films should get made. But nobody else was thinking like that. Everybody else, was kind of doing other stuff, and because the film got delayed, we were just like waiting to get their dates, and we looked at each other and said, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. But the films that you followed that up with were also interesting choices, because again, I mean, wondering what direction did you want to take with, say, a Phata poster Nikla Hero, or a film. I just wanted a hit film. Really, you wanted badly a hit film. I really badly wanted a hit film. Yeah, like R. Rajkumar. And Rajkumar was a hit film. It was a hit film. Yeah. But Phata poster didn't do well. So I just at that time wanted a hit film. Because, see, if you are not successful, you have no power to make any choices. Okay, so first you need to get successful. Then you need to think that you have control over your career to make choices. Right? So first you get successful. And have you understood that over a period of time? Like, okay, I think this type of picture will go to small towns of India. People will flock to watch this action movie or this action comedy or this action comedy romance movie, like a packaged masala entertainer. So the way I view other people's films is very different from the way I approach the work that I do. Okay. Because one is has to be a point of view of the entire fraternity. We are a very diverse fraternity full of many different types of creative people with many different sensibilities, and I don't like people who think their way is the right way. And everybody else is wrong. I mean, just by virtue of that only, I don't like those people. So, and they're sitting on some pedestal, which is what happened when Kabir Singh released, with so many people refusing to accept that people are liking the film. I was like, अरे भाई लोगों को अच्छी लग रही है, तुम लोग बैठे हुए अपनी चेयर के ऊपर, how dare you like that? I'm like, अरे how dare, लोगों को अच्छी लग रही है, हमें अच्छी नहीं लगी, लोगों को अच्छी लगी, accept it. But some people find it difficult, to think that they feel they are superior and other people are inferior, and inferior things are doing well and superior things don't do well because they're less intelligent people and more dumb people. They have some weird way of thinking in their head. Okay,
Pretentious,
So,
you mean?
whatever the word is, you decide the word. But I just feel like they're not in touch with reality here. You have to stay in touch with reality. What is working is working. If you can't understand it, you're falling short somewhere. But you should never try it. Like if a guy who knows how to make a dosa doesn't know how to make a burger, should not say a burger is bad food. You should just say, I know how to make dosa.
No,
I'll
I'll tell you, can I disagree with you on this, Shahid?
Sure, of course.
I like with Kabir Singh, I think what happened was not that people were denying the commercial success of the film. What they were saying, and a lot of people were, and perhaps for good reason, is that, okay, this happens in the world, such people do exist, such romances in real life definitely exist, is reflecting something that exists in our society, but this guy is the hero, and he's freaking abusive. Why are we making it okay? I mean, the fact that it happens is what it is. But
what do you mean how we
it was
make
an
it okay?
instance. It was an instance of.
No, let's dissect it.
Yeah.
Let's dissect it, right?
Yeah.
Kabir slaps the girl. Then he gets slapped by her also, and by various other people. But when he slaps her, it's just so shocking that it stays with you and it disturbs you, right? Everything after that happens in his life till the last moment when somehow the girl agrees to be with him, right?
Yeah.
Let me finish. Till that moment is a downward spiral for that character. There is nothing good that happens in his life. He is a complete mess. Okay. He's a very, he's a very cinematic character. It's like Taxi Driver. It's like Scarface.
Yeah, Taxi Driver. Yeah, that there was the same response that the world had with Taxi Driver.
Yeah, but creative.
But the guy kills himself.
ठीक है ना? My point is, in love, have we all not messed up? Are we all perfect human beings? Everybody deserves a second chance, however rubbish that they might be. If you're saying this guy is a great guy, he did everything right, nobody said that.
He was the hero.
Go see the promo. See the promo. Every line in that promo says he's disturbed, he's a problem, he has anger management issues, he cannot be accepted by society, and he's self-destructive, right? So right in the beginning of the promo, you're establishing that this is a film about this kind of a character. At no point was he said to be this great guy, right? But I guess for some people,
they saw it as glorification.
It becomes about right and wrong. But I just feel like, all kinds of things happen in life, and it's okay. And we can show them. I am nothing like Kabir Singh in my real life.
Okay.
I don't drink. I am very family oriented. I never have the guts to raise my hand on any woman ever, right? I'm born and brought up with my mother. But as an actor, I have to play different characters. And you don't have to like them. You should like my performance.
So you would think that this is an anti-hero actually, in a way, like say in Bazigar or
a very
for that
disturbed
matter in
character.
Dar.
Very
These
disturbed.
were anti-heroes that Shah Rukh played.
I don't know what is this word anti-hero.
Like he's not. Hero is someone.
Tell me something. Hero is someone who's
is glorified.
A protagonist
in
is
a
someone
film.
who should always be good.
No, I'm not saying that.
So then,
no, I'm not.
He was the protagonist of the film. It was a titular part. He was not hero. He was not a hero, but he was the protagonist of the film.
Right.
The film was about that character and how he behaved. Didn't Devdas hit Paro with that? Was that not physical abuse? But why is that a classic? Why is that a classic?
I don't know why
it's a classic.
I think it's a crappy film, but never mind.
No, it is. No, I think Devdas is a great film.
I don't know. I want to so great about this loser who that we have to make 11 versions of the same
because bro,
person.
You're taking it literally. It's a study of human behavior. Cinema is meant to be reflective of society.
Right.
Everybody is not a nice guy, and just because somebody is a protagonist doesn't make him the hero. Kabir Singh is not the hero, he is the protagonist. That's how I saw it.
Sure.
And for me, Kabir was the weaker character between the two. Because I felt that Preeti had so much gravity. She could hold herself so strongly, even though she was in love with a man who had many weaknesses.
Sure, but he's a frightening guy, right? And there's also an element of Stockholm syndrome.
I have seen physical abuse as a child. I understand what you're talking about. But it was just about a dysfunctional love story between a very simple girl and a very talented, brilliant, aggressive, disturbed guy. And stuff like that happens. I
Something
never
like
thought
Tommy
about it
Singh,
beyond that.
which is from Urta, Punjab.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's not
He's
exactly...
a great character to play, yeah. Nobody will want to be Tommy Singh. Yeah.
How different are these two guys, Tommy Singh and Kabir Singh? Besides the
Dono
same...
Singh I don't know. I think they're completely different. I think Tommy's problem, like the nicest thing that Tommy says was that, I've never done anything for anybody else. मुझे कुछ कर लेने दे, मुझे वो लड़की को ढूंढने दे. There's a scene in the hospital, I think, which essentially tells you that Tommy is completely self-oriented. And about Kabir, I feel the other way around. I feel that once he fell in love with Preeti, if he was not with her, he was just a mess. And the biggest mistake he made was that he hit her. And after that, everything in life just got destroyed. And Preeti was nice enough to take him back, and he was fortunate to have her back. And that's the kind of, if you want to make a film which is a love story, you want to end it on a note which gives you hope. And like from my point of view, it was very much about who hasn't messed up in life, right? Like everybody deserves a second chance. So there's no harm if you've shown somebody go down and down and down and down and say, but somehow it worked out for him. I didn't see it was like such a bad thing, and people seem to really like it.
I mean, what's common between these two characters? Obviously,
Nothing, I don't think there's
drug abuse in both cases,
yeah,
right?
Correct.
Both
drug abuse.
coke snorters, right?
Yes.
I don't know alcoholics.
Yes.
Right.
So substance.
Yeah, played by a guy
and aggressive,
who is vegan,
very aggressive,
who doesn't drink.
Very aggressive.
What do you do for fun, Shahid? Like, you could
I
done a whole life. I mean,
I play these characters for fun, bro. Maybe
Huh?
that's the way I have fun. I play these characters.